Tesla. Hello guys, welcome to another show of Xa Talk Show. Today we are going to do random. So you direct the topic. Say what you want to ask me questions and I'll talk about it, okay? Otherwise, if nobody say anything, I'm just gonna start to do my things, covering my latest blogs. I have like 10 blogs. Wufan language, Emac Lisp coding, or programming languages in general, or web CSS, web coding, web dev, or politics. So you gotta say what you wanna ask me questions, okay? If you are watching this offline, skip around and play at 1.5 speed and donate, okay? You pay to get what you want, pay to direct the society you want, okay? We got some questions. So let's see. Taima is from Los Angeles. Hello. Taima wants to talk about keyboards. Taima says, I'm thinking of getting a new keyboard. I have Dygma Defy, love it, but there is a new keyboard, Naya. It looks good with attachments. Okay, so I can give you some opinions about that. I don't know Dygma, so my opinion is not very good. Okay, Diego Casas says, seems like a Spanish name. Can you talk about your web browser extension setup? Okay, so let me just talk about those two questions. But meanwhile, today is Sunday. Let's have a drink, okay? Now, I'm not a drinker, but I got this from somewhere, from a friend, I guess, or some, I don't know where. But what is this? Whiskey. So let's try Canadian whiskey. Crown Royal, Canadian whiskey. So let's try that. And I got a Coke from some recommendation from online. So let's pour. Let's see. So I don't drink usually. I don't even drink every day. But now I can afford some drinks. So someone recommended this. So you gotta get this Don Julio, whatever Reposado tequila. So I asked him, and he says I need a picture because I don't know which is brand, which is the type, whatever. So he showed me this. So we got it, $30-something. So this will last for me. It'll last 4 months or even half a year. Okay, but my wife says, you got some already, so let's have this whiskey. Now, you see the fine details, that when you drink whiskey, you're supposed to use the whiskey glass. He says, the guy says, the Don Juan something, Reposado or something, you need to use mix with Dr. Pepper. But I didn't see Dr. Pepper in Costco, so just Coke. Interesting taste. So let's talk about keyboards, then let's talk about my web browser extension. So while I'm drunk, you can ask me questions. You can poke me. Actually, I don't get, I'll get slightly, euphoria. That's what drinking does. Euphoria, make you stupid. But I'm not a heavy drinker. So about keyboards, so he's saying a question about Dygma. Okay, so let's go back to, hello Luis, long time no see. Luis from Switzerland, I believe. Now I hope this time I got it right. Love to see you enjoy life. Yeah, and now I can enjoy some life. So questions, okay, you need to post questions. So Dygma, okay, so let's go to keyboard. Fantastic, all the keyboard you ever want to know. Keyboard, Ergo keyboard, and this guy is asking, Dygma is asking about Dygma keyboard, which I don't have, but Luis, if I'm not mistaken, Luis got it. Let's see. No, okay, that's another guy. Zietze, this guy is from Germany. He got it. He got the Moonlander. Okay, well, actually, Moonlander is not from Dygma, okay? So this is Moonlander, I don't have. So, but, so what is the Dygma? So do I have it? I don't think DYM, DYG, oh, there is. Okay, so I have a photo of Dygma Rays. Luis, yeah. So Luis got the Dygma Rays, but he cannot get used to it, so he sold it. But this to me would be great. Okay, so, but I don't actually have it, so I don't have the experience. So, but you are saying, so you want my opinions on new models, I guess. Dygma, Defy, and Naya. Okay, let's, what? Let's copy that. So close keyboard, okay, showing browser. There is Dygma, okay, so okay, so let's see. So there is Dygma Defy you have, and then there is Dygma Naya, okay. So let's look up Dygma Defy, okay. Let's open it. Actually, open it and also image search. DYGMA, okay, so it's actually supposed to be DYGMA. Okay, so do I have the JavaScript on? Turn it on. So Dygma Defy, which is what you have. So Dygma Defy got lots of thumb keys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 thumb keys for each hand. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Okay, and it's orthogonal linear layout, so I like it. And can I do tinting? I suppose. Tinting means tilt your keyboard upward. Yeah, so there is a picture. So you don't have to flat. Flat is no good. Okay. So there is Dygma Defy. So, but you are you want check out the new model, Dygma Naya. So let's see some photos. So my analysis, Dygma Defy is pretty good, and then you got Dygma Naya. What is Dygma Naya? So Dygma Defy, God mod. That's one of the phrase the white man loves, obsessed with. Something something God mod, something something God particle, something something God. You know, you have to understand from Asian, like when you first hear it, what's with this God, this, that. You know, Asians, we don't do that. We have, you know, we have like our mythology, but we don't say God this or that. You know, so the God mod signifies like the ultimate, you know, like the ultimate things. So Dygma Defy, Dygma Race 2, and why choose Dygma? You are you, you are us, and so what is this Dygma Naya? Is there a picture? No, there's not much. Did you spell it correctly? But it looks good with attachment. Okay, so maybe it's not Naya. Maybe it's not Dygma. Let's search for Naya. Naya keyboard. Oh, okay. So yeah, so it's not from Dygma. So the Naya keyboard. Let's have a look. Okay, so it looks like this. So it looks like one of those do-it-yourself. once, okay. So my impression of this thing is not, I think Dygma is better, okay? Let's see, Dygma Defy and Dygma Defy. Yeah, I think Dygma Defy is actually better. Okay, so the difference with the Dygma Defy is that you got, the thumb keys are thin profile. So the thumb keys, I'll get a better picture. The thumb keys are low profile, but the other keys are like traditional, like very thick, very a lot height. So that means you have to press it down all the way. So this is Dygma Defy, and then the Naya, keyboard, I suppose it is a kind of do-it-yourself. So here's how you tend it. Interesting design, novel new design. Okay, in fact, it's quite radical because you can see the position of thumb keys. When you tend it, the position of thumb keys actually, so you don't press down, you go inward. And then you got these two huge knobs. And there's quite a few novelty here. You see this thumb, can you get a bigger picture? Open image in a new tab. Okay, you can see this N or B, the QWERTY B. You see they made it into just one key. Let's see. You put your hand there, yeah. So you no longer have the inner word like traditionally B on the QWERTY and N on the QWERTY. You no longer have those keys. Can you see me? So it's like this key, okay? So you no longer have the inner keys. They merge it into one. So this is kind of more radical design. What is it called? Naya, okay, Naya, more radical design. And thumb keys, then you got inward, which I'm not sure, I don't know if that's good. And also elimination of many of the, the inside two column keys. In fact, 4 column keys, they removed it. Yeah, so I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sure. The 2 big knobs are good. I suppose these are multifunctional knobs. So for example, you can just rotate the wheel. It'll function as arrow key, left, right arrow, or page up, down, I suppose. Yeah, but overall, if you just give me a keyboard, force me to use the keyboard, I would probably go with what you have, the Dygma Defy. Okay, that is my opinion. Okay, next. Cheers. No more questions. Okay, if no more questions, I'm gonna do Wolfram language. Keyboards. Okay, so let me just double check. Views 19. What does this mean? Current viewers 12. Jackpot. Okay, no questions. Okay, so that means I go to Wolfram language. Okay, so there's some keyboard news. I want to double check. Okay, so there's some keyboard news. So this famous guy, he did a video review of this fancy ergonomic keyboard. So this one is from what year is it? It's from, I forgot. So let's go to keyboard history. 1980, okay, around 1980. This is actually a prototype. It's actually never mass produced. So this keyboard is TA Ergonomy Study. That's what it's called. TA stands for Triumph Adler. Okay, Triumph Adler 1041. Ergonomy Study. Okay, so actually you need to get the proper name there. So anyway, this guy Quios Run 22, he's a great video keyboard reviewer. So he got a YouTube reviewing this keyboard. This keyboard is never mass produced, but anyway, so that's kind of news on keyboard. And the other news about keyboard is I have over 1,000 articles on keyboards. So I kind of started to reorganize a little bit so you can have all the groups on touch typing. So what is touch typing? Touch typing means there's this question, can you touch type? Of course, if you touch type the normal way, yes, but then there's a lot of people who don't touch type the normal way. They use like 3 fingers on each hand or something. They jump over and they will say, yeah, I touch type too, but not in the standard way. But actually, if you can put a cover on top of your keyboard, so you actually don't see the keyboard and you can work like that for 5 minutes, then whatever method you use, then you can touch type. If you cannot do this, then you don't touch type, okay? That's a fact. This is kind of the fact, okay? Anyway, touch typing, there's a lot of issues, then some people will claim, so here is how to touch type, the key to touch type is that just for each key, there's a specific finger to use for that key. That's it. If you follow this method, then you touch type. Always use the specific finger for specific key. Now, if you do not follow this, then whether you touch type depends on whether you actually can work for 5 minutes or longer with the cover on the keyboard. Like most people, they claim they can touch type. They cannot actually do this. They have to like every few minutes they have to look down. So that's the thing about touch typing. And there's a lot mysteries, like myth about touch typing too. Some people will claim if you learn the standard touch type, you'll get hand pen. That's also false. So there's an article, so like, does touch typing cause repetitive strain injury? This article, the best way to avoid injury is not to go pro. That pokes what these people are thinking. Because a lot these non-touch typing people, they will claim, touch type is no good. Because if you touch type, all my friends who touch type, they got hand pen problems, which is actually true. A lot of people who has hand repetitive strain injury, including me, has hand pain. But that is like saying the best way to avoid injury is not to go pro. Because what happens to your body, the people who goes through hospital, who has leg injury, ankle sprain, hand injury, spine injury, head injury, those are professional athletes. Okay, if you don't want those injuries, don't do professional athletics. You don't know how to do nothing. You stay home. Then you'll be fine. You see. That's like what these non-touch typers are saying. If you don't touch type, then you cannot type fast. You can type like 40 minutes tops, 50 words per minute tops, okay? And which also implies you don't write documentation, like you avoid it. You avoid writing, full sentence, you avoid it. That's the difference. Okay, if you actually touch type in the standard way, you will find yourself typing a lot. You will start to naturally type a lot, chat or whatever, writing blogs or write full documentation for programming languages naturally. And naturally, when you increase your load, you'll also be prone to injury. Okay, so the best way to avoid injury is not to go pro. Don't learn touch typing, so that you naturally don't type a lot of things. You don't, because you don't, you are too slow. You just like, two finger method, 3-finger method. So that's one of the myths, okay, about touch type. And then this study. So anyway, so I have lots of articles. Okay, I think that's I want to go back to no comments. Okay, I go back to doing mathematics. Okay, have a drink first. So those of you watching, 10 people, you gotta say, okay, comment on whatever you want me to talk about. So Naya is not Dygma. So what type of keyboard is this? You looking at my keyboard? Are you looking at my keyboard? So you are new here. In every of my video, by now I have more than 300 videos. So every of my video, I introduce my keyboard. So this is Glove 80. I have video reviews on YouTube. This is Ultimate Hacking Keyboard. I have a video review on YouTube. This is Naya trackball. I have a video review. Ultimate Hacking Keyboard. Then there is this this fancy device, this fantastic input device. Okay, this novel. This is wrong. Okay, this is no. This is magnetic switch. Okay, I also have a kind of a small introduction review. Are you a hacker? Yes, I guess you guys are new here. Okay, so I talk about programming stuff. Okay, I'm a hacker. That depends on the meaning of the word hacker. Oh, there's another question. Diego says, can you talk about your web browser extension? Okay. Okay, so I talked about this before. In the past 30 years, beginning in 1992. 1992 is when I started to use computer every day. Okay, just about every day, many hours. So I've been a nerd. I'm a programmer. I am into mathematics. So since about 1995 or so, I always have used 3 browsers, 2 or 3 browsers. So sometimes 4. For some years it's 4. So on the Mac, you have back then you have the in the beginning, Netscape browser. There's Mosaic browser. That's the first in 1992. Mosaic browser. This is even before internet become a thing. Okay. Then Netscape browser. A lot of you know Netscape browser eventually became Firefox. So today you know it as Firefox from Mozilla. So before that, it was Netscape browser. Okay, so I use Netscape browser. I also use Internet Explorer, which began in 1997 also. And this Opera browser, also 1998, also was one of the best. So anyway, why do I use several browsers? Because I'm a programmer, and also I'm a web dev professional, at least back then, 1998. I'm a web dev professional. So when you do web dev, you need to know the differences. Sometimes the page works on this browser, sometimes doesn't on that browser. But today, I talked about this before in my live stream. I use several today because, so for example, on Firefox, which is what you see here, right now there are 1,200 tabs. You can see 1,200 tabs. They are all of my website. Okay, so all these are my website. My website here is today's talk show, math blog, and this is Xan Talk Show to do. There is mathematics. So there are 1,200 tabs open. And then, for example, this is about graphics image manipulation, where typically this girl is a Playboy model. Okay, so she is one of the most used picture in image processing, computer science articles talking about image processing. Okay, because we like pretty girls. So her name is Lena. Of course, now she's old. It's what a wonder. That's life. How a girl, when she's young, so beautiful, but you get old. Every girl does. So does men. I'm becoming ugly. So anyway, so 12,000. All these tabs on my website. You can see. So Firefox I use just for web dev. All these are local files. So for example, this one is JavaScript object, introduction to JavaScript object. So I go here, Emacs, paste the link, so you can see, magnify, you can see that's a link, and paste it again. Now press a key. Now this becomes the xali.info. Now it becomes the actual URL. Here is just my local version. So all the things you see here are local. I got tons of stuff. So Firefox I use for development of my website, which is mostly static. Okay, and Brave browser, which is fantastic, which is what you see here. I used it on x.com, Twitter, and because it requires cookies, it has a ad blocker built into the browser, so you don't have to install ad blocker. So I use Brave browser pretty much just for x.com, okay, for Twitter. Then there is Google Chrome. I still use, but I hope to get away. Google Chrome browser I use for anything to do with Google. For example, YouTube. I need to log in. So what is the advantage of several browsers? Because, well, you can separate them. Because usually you have like hundreds of tabs, right? So it depends on you. So for me, I'm a web dev. Again, web dev. Then you do need several browsers. You need sometimes the CSS working one browser in one way, but not the other. So you need to cross-check and so on, and also JavaScript. Okay, that is why I use several browsers. Cha-ching! Thank you, Tima. So let me finish the question first. So what about extensions? Okay, so on Firefox, I can show you my extensions. Okay. So where do you go to show extensions? So basically, I try to avoid extensions. I only use let's go to settings. Let's magnify. Where is the extension? They changed this setup all the time. So more for Mozilla, fucking idiotic. So let's, I use this manage extension. Okay, there. So uBlock origin, that's ad block, that's the best. There's a lot confusing names like ad blocker or ad blocker plus, uBlock plus. A lot of them are scams, so you have to be very, very careful. Now this one is trusted, uBlock origin. Okay. So that's one extension I use, and I avoid so I have another extension I use. There, click on that. Okay, Brave Search. Okay, I recommend. Duplicate tabs closer. I use, especially useful if you dev on your local files, because if I open again, it'll close duplicate automatically. Okay, so let's go back to tabs here. Okay, so it automatically closes duplicate tabs. Very useful when you work in Emacs and show things in browser. But that's about it. Ecosia, nah, I need to delete it. Ecosia is a search engine I used to use, so remove. What? Remove. Okay, so back to extension. Brave search, duplicate tabs closer. Old Reddit redirect. Yeah, I can use. I still use Sideberry. Or Sideberry is these vertical tabs I use. Very useful. That's it. And uBlock Origin. Okay, I try not to use many extensions. For each one, the browser extensions I use, I'm very picky. They must be open source because browser extensions, they are critical. They can get information. Whatever website you go to, they will know. Okay, they will know, and they'll phone home. They'll send it to whatever. So you need to be very, very careful about browser extensions. Basically, don't install any. But the older ones I actually install, I know they are open. I actually spend some time to look at their Git to make sure it's safe. Okay, so if you go to Windows, actually I have a list of browser extensions. Okay, so this is Windows, Microsoft Windows tips. Search for Xali, you'll find it. Then PowerShell file sharing, how to keyboard shortcuts, how to Windows, Microsoft Windows tips, kind of esoteric tips. Then there is good browser extensions. Okay, so there's uBlock Origin. There's a collection of great extensions. So next time I'm on a new machine, I can just follow my own list. So you can search for it. Good browsers extensions, xali.info. Okay, uBlock Origin, duplicate tab browser, GitHub. You see, I linked to GitHub. So in fact, I have the GitHub cloned. You can also learn about JavaScript, how to write a browser extension. So there is GitHub old Reddit redirect. Why that? Because Reddit, like many other websites, they become scam. Like you go there, kind of like Twitter. Twitter is much better under Elon Musk today. But for example, let me show you an example. So if you so if I go to let's go to what is the what is this? Lily. Okay. Lily is a controversial guy, but controversial girl, but she's very hot. Okay, a white girl, and she's with who is this? Date night with Batzang. Oh, Korean. That's interesting. That's interesting because the Lily character, she's like pro-white ethno state, something like that. Now she's dating a Asian. Funny. But what I want to show you is that, okay, so here is a political figure, kind of political pro-Trump influencer, Insurrection Barbie. That's the name she goes by. And her Twitter name is Defiantly Free. Okay, I looked up. She is one of the related to January 6th person. I think she has been, put to jail for a month or something. So what I want to say, what I want to show you is that, like, basically, when you go to a website or this social website, they'll show you a lot irrelevant things. For example, you wanna go to see, for example, her. Then you see there it is. Okay, so I'm following her because I'm interested in her opinions and stuff, right? Oh shit! You guys didn't see the my fuck, how long have I been talking without showing the screen? So yeah, so I guess shit, shit, wasted 10 minutes or something. So what I want to say, so anyway, so let me fuck. So anyway, here is my tab. Yeah, I talked about a bunch of things without showing me my screen. So that Ecosia is a web search engine. Okay, I don't use anymore. I use Brave. So if you want, search for window tips, xali.info, and then there's a page on browser extensions there. Okay, so here are the browser extensions: uBlock Origin, duplicate tabs closer. Each one's got a GitHub you can go to. These are the ones I recommend. Okay. And GitHub old Reddit redirect. Okay, can you guys see it? Yeah. So what happens is that when you go to many of these social networking websites, social media websites, for example, I follow her, Insurrection Bobby. Okay, she's a political right-wing figure. Then I want to see her what she say. Then you go down. Then boom, it gives you this irrelevant fuck who to follow. Why are they doing that? Because they want you to follow more. They want you to constantly, post or whatever do with the platform. That's what they want. But this is not what I want. I'm just here. I want to follow this person. I don't want to see irrelevant things. Who to follow. So lots of this website, Reddit, almost any of them, okay, since like 10 or 15 years ago, they started to do this shit. So that happened with Reddit. You go to Reddit, then like 80% of the things are irrelevant. You want to, read about some keyboard thing, they show you irrelevant. Oh, by the way, also check out this. Oh, by the way, also we have this, hot girls group. Fuck them. So that's why you got this old Reddit redirect, because Reddit redesigned so that it gives you a bunch of crap. This automatically redirect to the old version, like that. Anyway, so let me finish the comments and let's see. Okay, I kind of timer, $10. Thank you. I noticed that you like using your pen mouse. Yes. What is the reason you prefer to use the pen mouse? Is it more efficient? Keep the drinks going. Okay. Good question. So I got a review, so you can see this pen mouse is like so let's show you. Don't forget to turn it back so you can see this is Huion, Huion. Okay, this is one of the China cheapo. Fantastic. This one is $40. I bought 5 years ago. I bought it, or did they send it to me? I think I bought it. I don't remember, but I have a review on my website. So why do I use it? Not because, well, the real reason I sometimes use this is because I sitting in front of the computer too long every day. Like today, at least for 10 years, I sit in front of the computer for like 10 hours a day. So I would say I'm on record as the person who spent the most time sitting in front of a desktop computer per day on average for a span of 10 years. Okay, if you can, suppose you are God and you can have all the statistics, you are omniscient. So God, who is the person who sits in the front of a computer the most for a period of 10 times? And the God will say, it's a guy known as Xali. Okay, actually, I would say I would rank among the top 10,000 in USA. That's how how big a deal, how serious I am. So I sit at a computer in front of computers, typing and using the mouse. So when you have hand pen, because you if you use one device for 10 hours a day, doesn't matter how fancy, how ergonomic is the device, you're gonna have problems. Okay, you're gonna have repetitive strain injury. So then I started to use the left hand mouse. Then then switch to trackball. Then then I have to every 3 months I switch to something else. So constant problem for 10 years. And then one of the solution is the pen, which is very fantastic because then, so let me show you. So I can go back here, I can scroll, but it's not a great pure replacement for a mouse because for example, let me show you why. Okay, for example, right now there's an issue happening. You see, let me explain. Okay, so normally I use a trackball. You can see or a mouse, right? I have a hover to click setup. That means every time I move my mouse to some window, it automatically bring that window up to front. You see, so it's supremely convenient. This is a great hand saver. Saves you hand pain because pressing the mouse button is one of the most strenuous. Okay, if you, for most people, you sit in front of the computer for just 1 hour a day, no problem. But if you do that for 10 years, 5 hours a day, you're gonna have problems. So hover auto click. I have articles you can set up on Mac, on Windows, on Linux. Okay. But now, suppose I switch to the pen. Okay. You see, now I hover to the Firefox, it doesn't come up. You see, now I hover to the OBS, it does come up. I hover to Chrome, it doesn't come up. Now it does. Okay, you see, so you got this. So I back to Firefox, it doesn't come up. But if I switch to the mouse, Firefox comes up. You see, so there are issues with the pen input, so it's not total replacement, but it's great to change your hand habit. So whenever I have a chance, I go to the pen or go to the mouse or or the trackball. Okay, so that is why. And also one important thing about pen is that whenever you need to draw, for example, I do mathematics, so for example, I can show you. So I need to explain about mathematics, then you need a pen. It's like absolutely necessary. Okay, so let's go back to my YouTube studio. So yeah, so can you see it? Yeah, so you can see this is x-axis, this is the y-axis, and we have a parabola. This is y equals to x squared, or we can have a circle. It's required, and signature. Okay, and you can write Chinese. Okay, so that's about the pen. So I think that's it. Why do you hack innocent people? It's hackers like you that makes community look bad. What kind of question is that? Are you an idiot? I'm not interested in trolling. Okay, so if you guys are new here, I'm not your typical 4chan idiots. That doesn't excite me. Hacking there's many meanings. I talked about this so many times in the past. Have I ever created a website for a company? Yes, of course. That's another kind of question. By that question, I know you don't follow me. Like you are not a tip, this is probably your first time seeing me live stream, and you have these dramatic questions. Have you ever done, that's kind of life, okay? That's kind of the situation. That's a problem with America, with social network, and with the Zoomer crowd right now, because you got all these brainless grifters. What you got those anyway. So let me explain. So actually, recently, someone asked me that question. This is kind of common. Like, just what have you ever done? What are you known for? People want to know that. So here is a list of the projects I'm most proud of. Okay, I won't go into details, but you can kind of see. So one of them is credit card system and hash table. Back in year 2000, I worked for WebOrder. We are the first to create a web store like Amazon. Okay, so it's a web store system. We sell it to Amazon or some big company. Then they can have merchants sign up to create a store. So you got 1 billion merchants, and each merchant can have inventory and sell pen or mouse or whatever, clothing. So then the Amazon website, then the consumers can go there and buy things. I want to shop for keyboard or mouse, whatever. Okay, so but at the back is the commercial e-commerce, so-called e-commerce system. We are the first one to write that. Okay, one of the first. I suppose the Graham, the guy who created the Yahoo store, he's first. The Paul Graham. Okay. So that's one of the things I did working for a company. Then 1999, I wrote a bug report system, or in one single file in Perl connecting to MySQL. I write it all by myself. One single file of Perl, 4,000 lines of code. I think I still have the code somewhere if I want to find it. So that's and that's a bug database report, like trackers. People can go there, file a bug. What happens, is it, and state of the bug, is it closed, new, whatever, things like won't fix and things like that. And math, geometry, tiling packages, and others. And also, did I ever create a website of myself? Well, if you count bugs report or Hoover Institute 2005, okay, I created the entire website for this Hoover Institute of Stanford. They are associated with Stanford University, okay, and I get this is one of the reasons sad. I get paid peanuts. I get kind of scammed by white people. You see, normally when you do contract, you get like $100 per hour, $200 per hour or more, okay? But me, I don't know. I'm not good at talking to people or negotiate. But what happens is that the Hoover Institute, they get a white woman, okay, a white woman who doesn't know any coding, but she is like, then she go to online to pick coders for her, and she paid them like peanuts, $20 an hour, something. I think that's what I get, maybe $27 an hour, 2005. Okay, and she told me, when this is happening, this woman, by the way, she passed away. I learned that she passed away. She told me, when we started this, Hoover Institute is a big institute. Okay, that's a big so-called think tank. Okay, that's like, if you want a project of a website, it's gonna cost you, like, typically so as far as I know, like $100,000. $100,000 for the website. But I get maybe 5,000. So I created the entire website for them. That's on Linux, Apache web server, MySQL database, and Perl code. Okay, so I created the entire thing according to their spec. The they have complicated, like when a user login, you need to go through these steps. Each step you have to put a check mark when it's done. Some kind of educational system for their training, educator training educators. Okay, 2005, I created a website for Hoover Institute. And then, so when this project began, this white woman tells me, you're gonna go to this interview, basically meet up with another guy, which happens to be a woman, a young woman. To she is from, I don't know what exactly is her role. You see, I don't know. It's because they try to hide it from me. And she tells me, the woman who pays me, she tells me, go there, and when they ask you how much is the project, and don't say, don't tell them something like that. Okay, basically she tells me to lie, and I just lied for them. It's kind of sad. Okay, it's kind of sad because I didn't know better. I didn't know how to this negotiation with other people, or you have friends. Another thing with this situation is that usually these people, they get hired or whatever, or in the government, they have friends. Someone, someone knows someone, so you get hired for free. So I got scammed by these people, and I know the names. I still have the names, but but it's there's no need to go into that. Anyway, and several other things. Okay, so what am I doing? Okay, am I good? So there's a question about blocking JavaScript. Yes, so like I said, in XAR, like actually all my browsers has JavaScript off, except maybe Chrome. xari.info. xari.info. So this is my website. Can you see? Basically, JavaScript, you turn it off because all the viruses and scam, the one thing most important to them is JavaScript. Okay, that's the most important thing to them. If you have JavaScript off, then they basically can do nothing. Basically, okay, nothing they can do. So JavaScript is the most important thing. If you have JavaScript on, they can do lots of things. They can know how many seconds you stayed in this scroll. During what period you scrolled up one line. They can know all that. They can know which website you visit after another. They know all that. Okay, so if you really want to be careful, turn JavaScript off. Okay, so I have it off by default via this uBlock origin. Okay, so only when I want it on, for example, when I want the Dygma website, I think I can trust them, then I go there and turn JavaScript on. Okay, then maybe many websites when you have JavaScript off, they become bad. Things doesn't show right. So you can say that the Dygma website is well done, because I have JavaScript off, but their website still shows everything perfect in the right position. So that's why JavaScript off. Okay, because I am a very extreme nerd. I control things, not the other way. And similarly, in Brave, I also have it off by default. So I can go to any website, for example. Let's go to xari.info. Go there. And Brave. by default I have it off, but I think for Xali I turn it back on. Okay. Oh yeah, it's off. Block script, yes. You see, so you don't have JavaScript. So when you go to search, it won't work. Nothing shows. Okay, so now you need to turn JavaScript on. Now if you type keyboard, you have 645 results. Okay. Okay, that's it. My drink is done. I think that's it for today. Anything else? 609. So anything else? I think that's it. So let me prepare to close down. Okay, bye guys.